distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, can we please bow our heads to pray? Heavenly Father, we acknowledge your supremacy even tonight. You are Lord of Lords and you are the King of Kings. We thank you, Lord, for this opportunity that you have given us to gather in this manner. Your word says, without you, we can do nothing. Therefore, Lord, we invite you in this meeting. Your word says, all wisdom and understanding is found in you. We ask that your wisdom may guide each of our speakers tonight. We want to come out of this place having aligned with your eternal plan for the kingdom of Eswatini and for this organization. Therefore, Lord, we submit to you this afternoon. We submit ourselves also to you, that you may lead and guide us. We ask this in your precious name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Mam Kokeli Wetfulaga ERS, that is our Chief Risk Officer, Precious Ngumal. His Excellency, Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Russell Miso Dlamini, Chief Sfiso Kumalo, our learned Attorney General, World Customs Organization Secretary General, Mr. Ian Saunders, Honorable Minister of Finance, Mr. Neil Reichenberg, Honorable Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mr. Mangoba Kumalo, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Mandla Chauka, Principal Secretaries in your respective portfolios, representative of the European Union delegation to the Kingdom of Eswatini, Eswatini Revenue Service Governing Chairperson and board members, Commissioner General of the Eswatini Revenue Service, management and staff, members of the National Trade Facilitation Committee, distinguished guests, representatives of the private sector, development partners, and civil society, our online viewers at home, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening and a warm welcome to the ERS International Customs Day commemoration event. My name is Ndobeko Dlamini. I am the ERS Director of Communications and Marketing, and it is my absolute pleasure to serve you as the Program Director for tonight's proceedings. This year, the World Customs Organization has called upon us to celebrate this noteworthy occasion under the theme Customs Delivering on its commitment to efficiency, security, and prosperity. Today, however, we shift the spotlight from our well-known role of revenue collection to showcasing the significant strides ERS Customs is making in supporting businesses to grow and reach wider markets. Your Excellency, Chief and Honorable Ministers, over the next 2 hours, you will witness engaging discussions about trade opportunities, existing trade blocks local businesses can leverage, and the array of custom solutions meant to facilitate trade. We will also take a minute to celebrate some of the hard-working customs professionals whose work supports the commitment we have been called to this year. We will also then accredit a few local businesses into our coveted and exclusive AEO program. Lastly, we will hear from the ministries whose leadership continues to drive the work that we do. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to fully immerse yourself in tonight's program as we collectively explore ways to foster efficiency, ensure security, and enable prosperity for all. To set the tone for today's proceedings, the World Customs Organization Secretary General, Mr. Ian Saunders, has sent us a recorded message for this special occasion. In his address, the Secretary General will emphasize the importance of turning commitments into tangible actions and celebrate the global customs community's dedication in advancing trade facility and security. Ladies and gentlemen, can we turn our attention to the screen?
January every year, World Customs Organization. On 26 January every year, World Customs Organization member administrations celebrate International Customs Day. This is a chance for them to honor the dedication of their respective staffs, educate the public on customs mission and role, and mobilize decision makers who can help ensure that they have the resources required to address challenges effectively and efficiently. International Customs Day is also an opportunity for the WCO to highlight a specific area in which its members are invited to act. This may be a topic of particular concern to societies around the world, or an approach identified as being key to advancing customs mission. The objectives in either case are the same: to promote the standards and guidelines created by the WCO, along with the aspirations voiced by members, and to ensure that these standards and guidelines are translated into real-world practices. This year's special focus is being placed on the need to turn commitments into tangible actions that advance trade facilitation, ensure security, and foster sustainable economic growth as part of the WCO's theme for 2025, Customs Delivering on its Commitment to Efficiency, Security, and Prosperity. WCO members are reminded of the direction that has been set by the organization and are invited to showcase the actions they have taken to build momentum, as well as to share any measurable progress. Efficiency, security, and prosperity are permanent global aims, achieved through steadfast efforts to improve everything customs does. Efficiency, in particular, is powered by the modernization of customs procedures and the development of digital services, the promotion of data-driven operations and analytical tools, the use of inspection and monitoring devices, and cooperation and engagement with public and private entities. In the security realm, customs activities range from bolstering supply chain security to preventing the movement of illicit goods, combating money laundering, and enhancing crisis preparedness. The ultimate goal, prosperity, depends on our ability to ensure fair revenue collection, foster innovation and entrepreneurship, support sustainable economic development, and create inclusive policies, procedures, and environments that take into account the diverse needs of the citizens that we serve. While customs works every day to further efficiency, improve security, and support prosperity, we need to demonstrate more visibly to our governments and to society at large how we are taking action and delivering results. Reporting and accountability mechanisms are already in place in some countries. However, they're often aimed at a specialized audience, and customs achievements and their impact on social well-being are often not well understood by the public. This year, we are embarking on a path that challenges us to communicate more and better, to tell the stories of the positive work customs is doing, and to remind ourselves of the fundamental drivers for our effort. When we tell these stories, we must be open and candid. The goals we are pursuing are large and complex, and the work to accomplish them must be understood as ongoing. To describe our efforts effectively, we must blend data with an ability to tell compelling, people-centered stories. By weaving together facts and narrative, we can better engage, influence, teach, and inspire listeners. I greatly appreciate your support and dedication in making International Customs Day a memorable occasion, and for promoting and acting upon our 2025 theme throughout the year. Let's ensure we use this year to help the world understand the role customs plays in protecting and improving lives. I wish you all a wonderful International Customs Day.
To heed that call. Today you're going to hear about how we as ERS and our key stakeholders are answering to the call of efficiency, security, and prosperity. Distinguished guests, I would like to invite the acting chairperson of the ERS Governing Board, Mage Carol Muir, to officially welcome all of us tonight. Mage Muir, please join us on stage.
Your Excellency, Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Russell Miso Dlamini, World Customs Organization Secretary General Mr. Ian Sanders, Honorable Minister of Finance Mr. Neil Rickenberg, Honorable Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade Mr. Mangoba Khumalo, Honorable Minister of Agriculture Mr. Mandla Chauga, Chief Sfiso Mashampu Khumalo, Leonard Attorney General, representative of the European Union delegation to the Kingdom of Eswatini, Eswatini Revenue Service board members, Commissioner General of Eswatini Revenue Service, management and staff, members of the National Trade Facilitation Committee, distinguished guests, representatives of the various representatives of the private sector, development partners and civil society, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Your Excellency, welcome to Eswatini Revenue Service, and we thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. It's an honor to stand before you today and as we commemorate International Customs Day, celebrated globally under the theme Customs Delivering on its commitment to efficiency, security, and prosperity. Today's celebration reminds us of the critical role that customs play, not just in the smooth facilitation of trade, but as a cornerstone of economic development and prosperity. Your Excellency, the Eswatini Revenue Service stands at the heart of our nation's trade facilitation efforts. By simplifying cross-border processes, enhancing efficiency, and ensuring compliance, ERS is unlocking opportunities for local businesses to thrive in regional and global markets. This success can never be achieved unilaterally. It is only possible through strong collaboration with key partners, including the National Trade Facilitation Committee and various ministries that are here to celebrate with us tonight. Their steadfast support and alignment with ERS's mandate have made the many initiatives and achievements you will hear about tonight possible. On behalf of the board, Your Excellency, please allow me to extend our deepest gratitude to His Excellency, the Honorable Prime Minister. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. Your support exemplifies the importance of government leadership in driving the success of institutions like ours. To the honorable ministers from the Ministries of Finance, Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Minister of Agriculture, thank you for your unwavering collaboration in ensuring that ERS continues to deliver on its facilitation mandate. I also wish Your Excellency to commend the Commissioner General and his dedicated team for their relentless efforts to empower local businesses and enable them to access broader markets. Through the adoption of innovative technologies, digitalization, and a client-focused approach, ERS is creating a trade environment that is not only secure, but also conducive to economic growth. In closing, as we celebrate this important day, Your Excellency, let us reaffirm our shared commitment to advancing trade facilitation for the benefit of all eMaswati. Together, we can ensure that customs continues to be the key driver of economic prosperity, security, and unlock opportunities. Thank you, and this event inspires us all to strive for greater achievements. I thank you.
Thank you, Magemir, and the board for your continued support and leadership. Distinguished guests, we will now be moving on to our panel discussion, where we will delve into what the ERS custom solutions are and how they perfectly align to this year's theme. The discussions will highlight practical opportunities for Eswatini businesses under AfCFTA. We will explore the benefits of the Authorized Economic Operator Program, and we will also showcase the smart custom solutions that the ERS is implementing to support business. This promises to be an engaging and insightful conversation, which will be led by our moderator, ERS Commissioner General Brightwell Ngambule. CG, can I hand over to you?
Your Excellency, Honorable Prime Minister Russell Miso Dlamini, soon to arrive, Chief Sifiso Mashambu Khumalo, Lieutenant Attorney General, Honorable Minister of Finance, Mr. Neil Reichenberg, Honorable Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mr. Mangoba Khumalo, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Mandla Chauka, Representative of the European Union Delegation to the Kingdom of Eswatini, Eswatini Revenue Service board members, colleagues, all protocol observed. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this evening as we celebrate International Customs Day with customs administration around the world. In this event, we are honoring customs officers. We are appreciating our partnership with key partners such as the NTFC. We are reaffirming our commitment to government and business, our commitment to contribute towards prosperity in this country by improving trade facilitation. We are exposing entrepreneurs to the vast markets that have been made possible by the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Before we start the panel discussion, let me just highlight some few facts and figures. The WCO is a 186-strong member organization, and they process 98% of global trade. And the WCO is also a center of excellence in customs procedures and guidelines. Now, the mandate for customs is revenue collection and facilitation of legitimate trade. Oops. Now, our guiding principle as customs administration around the world is that borders divide, customs connect. Before, again, we get into the discussion, let me just share with you a few facts about the role of customs in revenue collection. The session today is not about this role. The session today is about trade facilitation, but I just thought I could share with you our contribution as customs in revenue collection. Customs collects three major revenue types in this country. It's import VAT that you see up there, customs duties, excise duties. The import VAT, customs contribute the import VAT directly into the consolidated fund. The customs duties and the excise duties get into the consolidated fund through SACU. So customs duties are collected from all goods coming from outside SACU and deposited into the SACU fund. Excise duties are collected from alcohol and tobacco products into SACU. And then at the end of the period, the SACU countries then share amongst each other whatever would have been collected. What determines the share? What determines the share of Eswatini is what residents would have declared at the border. So if they don't declare at the border, Eswatini loses that portion of the share, loses that portion of the share to the other members. It is a zero-sum game. If you cannot prove that you have traded with other customs administration in the region, then it means you are throwing your share into the air. So the call for action today is, please let's educate this nation about the importance of declaring in full at the border. Because if they don't, we are sharing with everybody what should be coming to us. I will not get into any detail of this slide. This is just showing the two major revenues that drive our economy. The SACU revenues are the one that is in amber, and domestic revenue is in blue. You will see the path that is followed by the domestic. It's the SACU, and that is the risk around this revenue item. Very critical, but it's up and down. And then the message is, let's work together, let's grow our economy so that we can boost domestic revenue collection. The theme for this session today, as announced by the WCO Secretary General, is customs delivering on its commitment to efficiency, security, and prosperity. We have a panel of three to unpack this theme. May I correct myself? We have a panel of three experts to unpack this theme. May I invite them to join me up here on the stage? May I invite the Director of Trade from the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Lungile Dlamini. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. May I also invite expert number 2, Mr. Inati Dlamini. Mr. Inati Dlamini is coming up in his role as the champion for the Authorized Economic Operator Program. Otherwise, he is also the co-chair of the National Trade Facilitation Committee and the CEO at Business Eswatini. May I also invite expert number 3, Precious Chauya. So Precious is Acting Commissioner of Customs. His day job is Director, Technical Services. So welcome, panel of experts. May I then? So, may I kick off the session by inviting the Commissioner of Customs to share with us some information on the Smart Customs program. We'll recall that in December, in the December 2024 Digital Transformation Symposium, the ERS committed to roll out a Smart Customs program, and this is a bold initiative to establish a virtual border post. The program envisions a no-stop border experience, enabling truck drivers to complete border formalities without leaving their vehicles. So, Commissioner, can you please outline the key achievements of 2024 under the Smart Customs program, focusing on the benefits to trade? Also, what further improvements should the trading community expect in 2025 and 2026? Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, moderator. So in line with the strategic focus area on trade facilitation, our Smart Border initiatives focused primarily on systems interconnectivity and strengthening cooperation with national and international partners who are part of the ecosystem in trade facilitation, thus breathing life into the slogan, Borders Divide, Customs Connect. So in the third quarter of 2024, the ERS piloted the issuance of electronic certificates of origin for goods exported to COMESA countries, which now enables system-based transmission and approval of the certificates between the member customs administrations. And so we have eliminated completely the manual procedures which are costly to trade. Thereafter, right at the end of 2024, we successfully upgraded AfCFTA. This is our system used for managing customs declarations. This was done to optimize on the system's functionalities for interoperability. The upgraded system is a key enabler for establishing interconnectivity with core regulators in the country, which we will now pursue by enrolling even more of the border agencies so that we can implement a seamless and automated procedure for cross-border clearance of goods. Parallel to the system upgrade, we have been working with an entity that has proven to be a committed partner to the organization's digitalization ambitions. So as of today, we are poised to deliver a solution we term Trader Connect. This builds on the electronic data exchange platform between SARS and ERS so that import declarations can be pre-populated by drawing information made to export goods from South Africa, drawn directly from that system so as to make the import declaration in Eswatini. We can only say the benefit to our declarants here will be significant. And on the physical part, we have been able to set up a separate channel for clearing commercial cargo at Ngwenya border. This helps to decongest the clearance halls and improve overall turnaround border dwell times. On our future improvements, we plan to expand the scope for Trader Connect. This will be done in such a way that clients can simply integrate their ordering and purchasing systems with AfCFTA so that the customs declarations they want to make can be populated directly from the enterprise resource planning system of the business. We can only imagine what convenience this will bring to clients in terms of saving costs for framing declarations and improving the accuracy of customs declarations. Smart Customs essentially aims to elevate the border experience, as has already been alluded to by the CG, to a no-stop or virtual border where there is minimum physical interventions undertaken while the goods are still at the border. So we will enable this by introducing non-intrusive equipment like scanners, which improve efficiency of physical examinations. We have already observed a considerable uptake of similar models in the region, and we believe we can learn from those experiences. We will also implement tools for electronic cargo tracking to reduce opportunities for diversion of goods. We have also set ourselves a target that by the end of 2026, we will be implementing the electronic single window to provide a single user interface for our clients to fulfill all requirements for facilitating cross-border movement of goods. With these complementary initiatives and working in close cooperation with regulatory partners, efficiency will be the name of the game as we transform our borders so that the instances where there is a requirement for goods to be stopped at the border becomes the exception rather than the norm. Thank you, moderator.
Thank you, Commissioner. Customs. Indeed, the Smart Customs program represents a significant leap forward in facilitating legitimate trade without lowering controls, without lowering regulatory controls. And technology will play a pivotal role in ensuring that goods move efficiently across the border. It is my pleasure to acknowledge the presence of experts who developed the Trader Connect that she mentioned. And at some point in this event, we will invite them up to the stage to honor them for the partnership. Beyond technology, partnerships remain a cornerstone of our strategy. In 2024, the ERS and the South African Revenue Services successfully conducted a joint time release study, and we launched it at BAT+. We also launched a joint action plan to ease congestion at Ngwenya border. This was made possible by the support of the World Bank. Additionally, we initiated discussions with Mozambique to establish this electronic data exchange as well, and further emphasizing our commitment to collaboration in the region. Borders divide, customs connect. Thank you, Commissioner Customs. And this picture summarizes very well the direction that we're going to. On my right is a picture, is a very undesirable situation. On the extreme left is the end game. Let me also at this point perhaps acknowledge the achievements that we've been able to bag last year, put in the bag with our partners. So up there, we see the Minister of Home Affairs. We worked, thank you, PS, you're here. It took us less than 2 months after that meeting to establish the commercial lane at Ngwenya. Less than 2 months, we now have a commercial lane at Ngwenya, which is what you see there. So thank you, PS, and the Minister of Home Affairs. And down here, this is where we signed, or when we launched the TRS with the Commissioner of SARS in BAT+. So without the partnership, we can run very fast, but not very far. Thank you. We now move to the second part of our panel discussion. We will unpack the Authorized Economic Operator Program. Now, this is a program established under the WCO Safe Framework of Standards, and it is key. It is a key initiative designed to ensure secure and efficient international trade by certifying businesses that meet security and compliance criteria. The AEO is one of our flagship programs as the National Trade Facilitation Committee and meant to improve trade facilitation. I call it the Trusted Trader Program because it establishes trust between all the regulatory agencies and business. Now, co-chair or champion, somewhere there, as a champion of the AEO program, can you outline the key benefits that business can gain by enrolling in this program? Also touch on the single government AEO as well as the regional AEO. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my leader and colleague. Just before I respond to this beautiful question, first of all, I wish to confirm I am the undisputed champion, as it were, undisputed champion of the AEO. But before I go any further, is to recognize His Excellency, Right Honorable Prime Minister. Prime Minister, it's the first time I'm seeing you up close in 2025. And I'm looking at you, you look good, despite the arduous and long week you had during the cabinet retreat, which we heard from people who were observing on our behalf that it was extremely productive and successful. So as a panel here, we just want to say congratulations. We know you're tired, but you're here. So I won't bore you with too many details. I'll just get to the chase. But please note, I am the champion. And it's a privilege to be a champion of this AEO. Secondly, Your Excellency, we converged today to welcome two recipients of the AEO certifications after having actually passed 11 entities last year. We're very, very, very proud, especially me. I'm very, very proud to join you to congratulate two more entries into the certification program. You may well ask what this means. Why is it a big deal? First of all, it is a big deal. Those who qualify, Your Excellency, proves that these companies comply with the laws of the land. Now, to business Swatini, that's extremely important. Do you pay your taxes all the time and on time? Do you comply with the laws of this kingdom all the time? Do you also, on issue of security, do you comply as an entity, exporting entity, with those rules? Your Excellency, they go through what I call a grueling and arduous vetting process for them to qualify. And for them to have come this far, it is something that I would like to say, as the undisputed champion of this program, congratulations to you. Would you please give them a big hand of applause? Your Excellency, just imagine, because today they receive what you call a diplomatic passport. Just imagine a truck coming from South Africa, they show that passport, and we say to the truck, proceed. And if they come from this side going to South Africa sees the diplomatic passport from the Kingdom of Swatini. They say, please pass through. Now, imagine a scenario where almost all the businesses had that certification. I can guarantee you'll never find a truck parked at the border post. So this is a big deal. And what's also beautiful about this program is once you are certified here in this country, we have an agreement both with BMA, Border Management Authority of South Africa, both with SARS, South African Revenue Service, that they will honor that certificate. But also we've signed an agreement that whatever certificate they issue in South Africa, to trusted companies in South Africa, we're gonna honor that. And it's been a privilege and one which has been very humbling for me to be involved throughout this process. You will all have heard the Honorable Minister of CIT, Commerce, Industry and Trade, for the past, almost saying it ad nauseum about export-led economy, export-led economy. The thing is, how can we achieve this vision if our border gates have too many artificial hurdles? How can we achieve that if our trucks, they spend nights sleeping over there? Now there are other issues this, and I didn't know this until just recently. There are many border agencies at the border, which I and probably you don't know about. You probably know immigration because you go in and stamp your passport. By the way, there's an agency called the police there. There's an agency called agriculture there, where the people always check your phytosanitary requirements. There's an agency called the customs. There's another agency called the customs or whatever. And all these agencies, when you get there, they want to talk to you for one reason or the other. Now imagine if 5 of them talking in different languages and with requirements that we have to comply with. Imagine the traumatic experience that you have. Now we have begun a program, and we are very, very excited as an NTFC to say, can we consolidate these agencies into one? Now the work towards that has begun. And I just want you all to join us into this excitement because this will be a game changer. And as we speak today, in South African side of it, if you have BMA, we have SARS, they've also begun the conversation. How do we work together in order to facilitate trade? And on our side, now we have probably 4 agencies, agriculture, some of them which don't even talk to each other. But how do we put it in one room? And then we have what you call, and this is what it's going to call, a single government AEO window, which means you will find them in one spot, they talk to you once, and then you pass through. That conversation has already begun last year. It's carrying on this year, and we're hoping that by April, a very ambitious target, we will have achieved that. But obviously, looking at the calendar, it's not going to happen in April. But hopefully, it's going to happen before the year end. If Your Excellency, we can unlock this, I can assure you, because I've seen the numbers and I've done the calculation, it changes the whole economic landscape of this country. There is a lot of money at the border which slips there, and goods get spoiled there. And if we can facilitate and get things moving effectively there, it changes the whole landscape in 2025. That's why I am very excited about the future. I must have left something, as I often do. But you can add whatever I've left. I'm an expert after all. You said that. I didn't say that. You call me an expert, and that's embarrassing now because the expectations become high from the audience.
Thank you, Champion, for unpacking this program. Had you made an altar call, you would have had this place full now of those that have not yet enrolled into the program. But I trust that on Monday next week, our doors are open to help those that have not enrolled to enroll. We have hardly 15 AEOs right now, and after this inspiring, moving message from you, we expect that the numbers may double by April this year. Now, the Secretary General of the WCO did make a call that we need to now translate commitment to action. Now, this is, last year, we actually signed at SACU level now. We signed the mutual recognition arrangement at SACU level, which means that indeed what he has been talking about is on the ground. The part that we need to do is just to tie up the loose ends on our end, conclude the single government AEO, so that our AEOs can move freely in and out of Eswatini and South Africa. So that's the call that we are making right now. Please, let's join this program. Thank you very much, Champion. So now we move to the last part of our panel discussion. In this part of our discussion, we'll explore the third theme of the International Customs Day, prosperity. This theme focuses on promoting trade and empowering entrepreneurship by breaking barriers that hinder access to international markets. Our session today will delve into a transformative initiative designed to accelerate prosperity across the continent, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA. To help us unpack the potential and opportunities on this groundbreaking trade agreement, and thank you very much, Commerce, we are privileged to have none other than the director herself, the Director of Trade. She will provide insights into what AfCFTA is and what it means for our nation. So, Director, over to you. Tell us about AfCFTA. What is AfCFTA? What are the opportunities that the entrepreneurs in the room should look forward to? What are the opportunities that businesses, big businesses, can also look forward to? Thank you.
Thank you, Moderator. Your Excellency, please allow me to write on the protocols which have already been observed. Most people, they wonder what the AfCFTA is. The AfCFTA is one of the flagship projects under the AU Agenda 2063, and the agreement establishing the AfCFTA was adopted by the Assembly in 2018. 54 out of the 55 member states of the EU, including Eswatini, are signatories to the AfCFTA, to the agreement, with Eritrea still to join. And 47 of these members have ratified the agreement, including Eswatini. The agreement, it covers both trade in goods and services and other protocols, including investment, intellectual property rights, competition policy, digital trade, women and the youth, and also rules and procedures for the settlement of disputes. The main objective of the AfCFTA is to create a single market for both goods and services and to boost inter-Africa trade for the 55 members, particularly in trade in value-added products and trade across all sectors of the African economy. In goods, for the goods, Eswatini, we participate as under SACU, since we know the country currently is mostly active when it comes to trading goods as compared to services. The start of trade under the AfCFTA, it began in 2021, and countries, as we speak, are already trading. Eswatini and the rest of the SACU, they launched the start of trade in January last year, and currently local companies are being assisted to penetrate the AfCFTA market. For trade in services, reciprocal trade will begin with the 5 priority sectors, which are business, communication, financial, tourism, and it will eventually cover all sectors such as health, environment, health services, recreational, cultural, and sporting activity services. Businesses will wonder as to what are the opportunities that we will gain. The AfCFTA, it will create a single African market for both goods and services. This means that most trade barriers will be removed and common policies will be put in place, including cooperation on trade facilitation and customs matters to ease the movement of goods, capital, people, business, and services. AfCFTA will provide Eswatini traders with a huge market of 1.3 billion people and a combined GDP of 3.4 trillion US dollars. It will assist our traders locally to diversify their markets and not to confine themselves to the local market with a population of 1.2 million, and not to confine themselves also to the traditional markets like SACU, SADC, COMESA, we have the EU, UK, and also AGOA. So it will help them to expand. It will allow traders to expand to new markets in East, Central, West, and North Africa. How is it going to be done? It will lower or eliminate tariffs on intra-Africa trade with not less than 90% of the liberalized goods by 2030, meaning that there will be zero duty for the category A products and a further 7% by the end of 2035 for the sensitive products. And only 3% of the goods produced will be liable for tariffs under the agreement. And this will include the exclusion list for products such as sugar. It will also provide quota-free market access, increase investment and employment opportunities, and enhance competitiveness of state parties, even globally. Inflows of FDI attracted by the AfCFTA will bring jobs and expertise, build local capacity and content, increase value addition, and forge connections that can help Eswatini businesses join regional and global value chains. It will simplify the purchase of raw materials from African countries by allowing countries to negotiate prices, and after opportunities will assist to set up assembly firms in other African countries. It also allows larger firms to partner with SMEs, training them in best practices and transferring technology. And it will also assist young people to venture into sectors such as agriculture, fintech, IT, as well as the creative industry, improve infrastructure and connectivity. And it will also strengthen our collaboration in the development of joint venture programs to facilitate inter-African business, especially for our SMEs with Newman. Sectors with a high potential will include manufacturing, agriculture and agro-processing, automotive, pharmaceuticals, and transport and logistics. Most of these sectors have been prioritized in the National AfCFTA Strategy and Action Plan and the government program of action NGWE. How can local businesses, both large and small, tap into this larger market? This will be done through forging partnerships and market linkages, both locally and globally, promotion of their products across the continent, adoption of the value chain approach, both local and regional, and to increase competitive and production capacities. I've seen some companies which are in the room, Vuganbo Mabge, they will attest with me that the value chain approach is indeed working. And it will also assist in enhancing capacity and skills development by investing in research, innovation, and technology, critical infrastructure, and improving the quality of their products. Eswatini companies can position themselves as global competitors and take advantages of the opportunities which are presented by AfCFTA. Coming to the key policies, government policies, strategies, and initiatives to support businesses and improve trade facilitation under the AfCFTA. These include, I'll give examples, which include the development and launch of the National AfCFTA Strategy and Action Plan to guide implementation, launch of the AEO, Eswatini Trade Information Portal, establishment of one-stop border post in borders with our neighbors such as South Africa and Mozambique. full implementation of the AfCFTA strategy and the government program of action will require strong collaboration and commitment from all key stakeholders, which will be a game changer for Eswatini businesses trending under the AfCFTA. Then there are tools which businesses need to consider so that they can facilitate their trade under AfCFTA. These include the AfCFTA Guided Trade Initiative that will assist companies penetrate the AfCFTA market, the Rules of Origin Manual, including the Certificate of Origin and the e-tariff book, the Pan-African Payment System, Payment and Settlement System that will assist business to make transactions in their local currencies. The AfCFTA Adjustment Fund, which will also benefit both governments and the businesses, the AfCFTA Trade Observatory, which is an information portal that will assist businesses. And there is also the AfCFTA Private Sector Engagement Strategy. In closing, moderator, please allow me to emphasize this. The AfCFTA is a game changer. It is inclusive and leaves no one behind in prosperity. Get in touch with IPA, which is the Eswatini Investment Promotion Agency, the ERS, Business Eswatini, and the Minister of Commerce and Trade to get all the assistance you will need as traders, and we will link you to this greater promise of Africa, which is the AfCFTA market. Please remember the guiding principle: borders divide, customs connect. Thank you, CG. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Director. Thank you, Director. There we have it. We may have a population of 1.2 million, but now we have a potential customer base of a staggering 1.3 billion. We may be landlocked, but customs will connect us to the rest of the continent. Thank you. Thank you. A critical component, though, is that we must believe. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe in our capability to exploit these opportunities. And for that, I wish to share this verse, Mark 9, verse 23. And the other one is Ephesians 3, verse 20. Let's believe. Let's believe. Let's go for it. It can be done. We've seen other small economies believe in themselves and then grow. The list is long, but we always make the example of, is it Singapore, Rwanda recently? So we can do it. What do we need? We have to believe. I was hoping for a round of applause. So thank you very much, panelists. And we've all been saying collaboration is critical. Let me then thank all our partners at the border, from the police, agriculture, health, tourism, who else? The Army helps us with the informal crossings. Lately, we are beginning to observe goods coming through informal crossings. Furniture coming through informal crossings, yes. So we have had a series of discussions with the Army. They are working very hard to help us. Goods have to go through formal border posts, not even non-commercial, commercial border posts. So thank you very much. Thank you very much to everyone. You may take your seats. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner, and to your panelists for the insights shared tonight. Distinguished guests, I did allude to earlier on that you will hear for yourself how we as ERS, alongside our stakeholders, are exemplifying the 3 key pillars that the WCO has called for us. And not only that, but above and beyond those growth ambitions. Ladies and gentlemen, we would be remiss to celebrate International Customs Day without taking a moment to recognize the individuals and the teams whose exceptional work embodies the commitment to this year's theme. Our Commissioner General will be recognizing individuals from the ERS and one key stakeholder who are living to the commitment that World Customs is calling for us to do. So, Commissioner, I will now hand over to yourself. Can I have Karen also join us on stage as you shine a light on the people that have really been exceptional in the work that they do?
Okay. May I then call upon the following colleagues to come up front to collect their certificates of merit. Samgelsiwe Dlamini. How come there too? Oh, Samgelsiwe Makagula. Sigelela Mkonda. Kolani Mkondo. Sizwe Khumalo. Lungile Mavuso. Mjabulisi Nzinisa. Qinile Mabuza. Mzamo Magongo, Jabu Mathe, Nhlanhla Dlamini, Gcina Dube, Mbongeni Simelane, and Phindile Cebe. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, let's give them a round of applause. Now, this one is for an officer that is not an employee of the ERS, Solomon Dlamini, Umbutfo Eswatini Defense Force. At this juncture, we would like to honor one of our partners, Global Trade Solutions. They have been working in digitalizing our processes for the longest time. They have been working with us for so long that they are even comfortable in our traditional attire. There she is.
Ladies and gentlemen, for me, this is really a privilege, and it's my first outing in my outfit, so please grin and bear with me if it's not 100% perfect, but I'm getting there. And I want to say, I have been appealing for my passport, so I don't know which minister I must speak to while you're here. Can you just sort it out, please? Okay. I will also be wearing very proudly my Eswatini outfit on Monday in Mauritius when there's another Customs Day celebration. So, although I'm South African, I think I'm partially part of your nation and everything. And I want to take the opportunity, as Ian Saunders said, we don't speak enough about our achievements and what we've done. And this journey and partnership that we've had with Eswatini has really, truly been remarkable. If we want to do something crazy, and we often do, and I'm going to share a little bit of that with you, we come here and we say to CG, we've got an idea. Do you think you're going to support us? And off we go. So for that, over the last, which is close to 15 years, it has really honestly been a remarkable journey. And I want to share some of the stuff where Eswatini was first. Maybe you don't even know it. Customs to customs connectivity, when the project was started, Eswatini in South Africa was running against Trans-Kalahari Corridor. They had the might of Microsoft behind them, and guess what? We beat them. So I'm challenging that championship trophy now. Since nobody is challenging him, I'm going to go out for it. So the connectivity project actually eventually formed the blueprint within SACU and has been recognized throughout the world as a remarkable project. We had to fight with the lawyers because they didn't understand tech. When I said to them, no, man, it doesn't matter where it sits, I saw a room of lawyers really having heart attack because you can't tell a lawyer you don't know where the data is. They don't like that. They want to know exactly where it is. Then through the years, we also did the tariffing project, launched the e-tariff with Eswatini. Again, a first for SACU. Just to put it in perspective, that was done more than 4 years ago. Namibia launched last year. So it shows you how far you were ahead. We did advanced rulings as well. We did that 2 years ago. Again, Namibia only did that last year. And some of the other countries within SACU and the African continent doesn't even have that. But the special one for me is what we referred to earlier today. I called it the Art of What is Possible project because we came to Eswatini and asked, we want to see if it is really possible to digitize the processes of customs fully. And I mean no human intervention. Now, a lot of people sitting in this room will say, really? So we quietly did this project with a company in Eswatini, Montigny. And the benefits that happened, at this point in time, they run their customs processes without any intervention of any human. And as Precious mentioned, we get the data from the ERP solutions, which means it's correct, origin, value, and tariff determination, which I hope makes the CG happy because it means we can get more taxes in. So that project formed the basis of the Trader Connect project, which we will be launching the first week in February. And there again, we took an approach to say we want to be inclusive, Not all companies have got the resources, so we very much focus on the SMEs. I'm very passionate about your craft industry. They are normally smaller people. We need to make sure that they're included. So the first week in February, we're launching the first phase of Trader Connect that makes it possible for any person to do a customs declaration through the initiative that has been done. We are filling in quite a lot of the information, which means the time that you take to actually do your work is improved. And then I think very, very importantly, the data. Because as much as what we want to ask the customs authorities to do risk management, if the quality of the data is not good, they're going to risk things incorrectly. So we collectively, both from a trade perspective, and I'm in the funny position because I live in both worlds, so I can actually give both lectures. We need to make sure that we improve the quality of the data and that we actually improve the speed with which we do things and drive down the cost. And I think that fits in very much with what the theme for this year is. It's efficiency and prosperity and then security. We tick all those boxes. So I think that project also will be done in phases. The first phase is aimed at particularly the SMEs. The ultimate goal would be to automate these processes. And now I need to make the plea. The NTFC customs is way in front of you. So now we need to get agriculture, immigration, health, SAPs, even the army into this net, that we can start sharing data and that we can make this process an electronic process, because it's no good having one of the processes running very fast and the other processes are still slow. The last thing you as a trader want is to be stopped by police or health or whatever, and you've completed your customs processes. If you now really want to see me cross, I need to sit there for 3 days because I need to do a phyto certificate, or there's a problem in terms of phyto. And that's really the plea. So I'm going to challenge you for your championship belt for next year. I see there's a thumbs up because it is a very arduous task, but I think it is the task that can make a huge difference. And again, it feeds into the AfCFTA initiative. If we can bring these barriers down, get all the processes together, then we can really pick up on that volume and that staggering figure of 1.3 billion customers. And the irony is, some of your products are so amazing and so unique that they're desirable in Africa as well. So I think it is important. Last year had the privilege to go to Colombia, and it was so funny. I took some Eswatini jewelry with, and gosh, I got there and they had the same things, and I went like, where did this come from? But it also just shows us how the cultures is the same, the background is the same, but our quality is amazing. And my Colombian friends were super excited to get their Eswatini earrings, although there were similar ones there. So I think on that point, really, if we can start working together, we need to showcase the work that ERS is doing much more in the region and both on the international stage. And I hope next year, when we've got Trader Connect fully rolled out, and all the tiers, because we're going for the top, the kind of fully automated process out of ERP, a middle layer, and then the layer that we're launching now for the SMEs. If we can achieve that, you are going to be first in the world and you are going to be world class. So thank you very much. Thanks for the recognition as well, and thank you very much for the teamwork. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have come to the end of this segment. Perhaps before I sit, let me remind us that the last time the World Bank issued that World Bank Doing Business Index, in sub-Saharan Africa, trading across borders, Eswatini was number 1.
Congratulations to all of our awardees, very well deserved. Thank you to GTS Solutions, our key stakeholder in customs modernization. Mage Wiggle, Wiget, you look stunning in your traditional regalia. Siyabonga. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite the Honorable Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mr. Mancoba Khumalo, to share his insights about how Eswatini is facilitating trade for business. The minister will discuss key trade agreements, including AfCFTA, and how they open up markets for Eswatini products. He'll also outline the ministry's efforts in harmonizing standards that reduce trade barriers and help businesses thrive. Honorable Minister, the floor is yours.
Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, Russell Miso Dlamini, my colleagues, the Minister for Finance and the Minister for Agriculture, the Chief of the area, Intuna Mashampu Khumalo, the World Customs Organization, the Secretary General, Mr. Ian Saunders, representatives of the EU delegation to Eswatini, principal secretaries, ERS, governing chairperson and board members, the Commissioner General of ERS and the staff, members of the National Trade Facilitation Committee, representatives of the private sector, our development partners and civil society, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening. A very good evening. I know it's a Friday and I know it's late and you're probably tired of all the speeches, but bear with us. We are drawing towards the conclusion of the program. In all honesty, Your Excellency, my Director of Trade, Lungile Dlamini, has made my job easy because I think most of what is in my notes was adequately covered by her remarks. And I will not necessarily read verbatim what I had written, but I will just articulate the essence thereof briefly, and I'll be out of your way. I am extremely grateful that as a ministry we partner with the private sector, ably led by the CEO, Nati, as well as ERS and the Ministry of Home Affairs in coming up with what we call the National Trade Facilitation Committee, which the ministry then provides oversight of. So I do get regular progress updates, particularly from my PS and on occasion from all three core chairs. Your Excellency, what I like about this particular team is that they are not producing studies and documents and research, but they are goal-focused. It's about what is the bottleneck, what is the hurdle, what is the derailer, and how can we fix it. They come up with a plan, put together a timeline, and then they knock these things off one by one. That is what gives us the confidence to say it is not too long before Ngwenya, or Oshuk, if you like, soon becomes a true one-stop border because they have a proven track record, and it is a pleasure and a joy to work with such a team of not only competent but highly motivated individuals. I've had the privilege of working in export-oriented establishments, most of my career for the company that I worked for across a number of jurisdictions. And the one thing that excites me is that in all my 3 or so assignments outside the country, one of the things that I realized was that all the clearances, customs clearances, happened within the facility we ran. And the goods would just from there move all the way to their destination. In my last job, we were exporting to about 23 countries in Europe. And everything would happen like she was explaining on site. And then, and some of the goods would actually traverse across multiple countries, but it would never stop. So I've seen it, and I know it's actually something that will transform not only Eswatini, but the continent, Your Excellency, because from a trade point of view, my viewpoint about Africa's challenge is that as much as we see these, impressive figures, 1.3 billion people, 3.4 trillion US dollars, the shame of this story is that intra-African trade is still standing at about 16-17%. So that speaks to the size of the opportunity. Hence, it really makes sense for us to say we are going to be an export-led economy because there's just so much opportunity in the continent. And for us to remain number 1 in trading across borders, but also to be able to drive efficiency, to be also able to drive security of the goods throughout the value chain, and lastly, to drive prosperity for all involved, we need these initiatives to work. I am very confident, Your Excellency, that what we've heard from Precious, from Nati, and from what Lungile, is absolutely going to make, the dream that was articulated by Ian at the beginning a reality for us in Eswatini. Government wants to provide efficient service, and through the role that ERS is playing, underpinned by private sector impatience, for lack of a better word, is going to drive us to actually produce these results in record time. There is already a very wide market base for Eswatini in the continent, and as has been alluded to by Lungile, we are party to a number of agreements from AGOA, COMESA, SACU, SADC, Mercosur, UK EPA, the European Partnership Agreement, the Taiwan Economic Partnership Agreement, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But the one low-hanging fruit is us leveraging the African opportunity because it just makes a lot of sense given the size of the opportunity. It is for that reason then that, Your Excellency, we need to work on actually, as you always say, understanding what our competitive advantage as a country is, and then focusing intently on excelling in those areas so that we become successful. I am not surprised that the 13 or so companies, including the 2 that have just recently joined the Authorized Economic Operator program, have had nothing but excellent experience. My challenge to the private sector is that we need to get as many of our companies onto the program. And Business Eswatini, we want to thank you for your role of championing this. And we also, though, want to urge you to continue being constructively discontent with the number of people that have joined this program, because we really want to get to a point pretty soon where it is more the norm done the exception for companies of good repute to be part of the economic, so the authorized economic operator program. Thus, Your Excellency, as I get down to my seat, my last statement is that let us, all of us, government, public enterprises like ERS, the private sector, pursue efficiency. And we always need to be relevant. Let us pursue security by promoting compliance. And let us pursue prosperity by implementing client-friendly policies and procedures that contribute to a conducive trade environment for the continued growth of our economy. Thank you very much.
Distinguished guests, in continuing with our celebratory spirit, we will be accrediting 3 local businesses into the AEO program that the Minister has mentioned. One of our existing AEO members has actually dubbed this program a customs diplomatic passport. And to officiate the segment, I have asked the Minister to remain, but I'd like to call upon our Commissioner General, Brighton Gambule, as well as the CEO for Business Eswatini, Mr. Inati, to help with the officiation and accreditation. Thank you.
Can we invite Inglis Milling to come up? And Farm Services. Okay, let's invite Far East to come up as well. Far East Textiles.
Congratulations to our newest members of the AEO program. We hope you find the benefits and the perks that you get as an AEO member astounding. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on, we would like to call upon the Honorable Minister of Finance, Mr. Riel Reichenberg, who will speak about the critical role that customs plays in revenue mobilization. Minister Reichenberg will also do the honors of welcoming His Excellency, the Honorable Prime Minister, to deliver his keynote address. Minister Reichenberg, over to you.
Thank you very much, Program Director. The Right Honourable Prime Minister, Mr. Russell Miso Dlamini, the World Customs Organization Secretary General, Mr. Ian Saunders, the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Honourable Mangoba Kumalo, the Minister of Agriculture, Honourable Mandla Chauke, the representative from the European Union delegation, the Kingdom of Eswatini, Eswatini Revenue Services, Governing Board Chairperson, board members, the Commissioner General of the Eswatini Revenue Services, management and staff, members of the National Trade Facilitation Committee, distinguished guests, representatives from the private sector that are all here this evening, development partners and civil society, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. My speech is short, so unlike the minister, I will read through my shorter speech. Today we join the 186 other countries in commemorating International Customs Day under the theme, Customs delivering on its commitment to efficiency, security and prosperity. Thank you all for taking the time out on a Friday evening to celebrate this important day with us. Tonight, the Eswatini Revenue Services has shown us a dynamic and inspiring side to their trade facilitation mandate. Beyond securing the critical revenue that drives our national development, ERS plays a fundamental role in connecting local businesses to reach markets beyond our borders. Today's celebration was unpacked how ERS, working with the National Trade Facilitation Committee, facilitates trade by simplifying and digitizing processes, enabling compliance, and consequently creating opportunities for Eswatini businesses to grow and thrive. Through trade blocs such as SACU, SADC, COMESA, and the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, ERS is actively helping local produced goods to access these regional and international markets with ease. The event this evening has educated the nation on the trade opportunities available and the measures in place to ensure seamless business interactions across borders. Such initiatives are a testament to ERS's commitment to enable economic growth, resilience, and inclusivity. While we celebrate these milestones, we must also reflect on the challenges that we face. The recent decline in SACU receipts has emphasized the need for Eswatini to accelerate our industrialization priorities in order to strengthen revenue collection efforts. Customs plays a pivotal role in this regard, contributing significantly to our fiscal stability and long-term economic resilience. I wish to extend my heartfelt thanks to the Right Honourable Prime Minister. We are grateful for your presence here tonight. Your visit to the ERS headquarters provides a unique opportunity to see firsthand the vital work being done and the collaborative efforts to driving our nation's progress. I've also heard the Prime Minister on more than one occasion really using ERS, Commissioner General, as an example of Centre of Excellence, is to say we need to look and learn from ERS what they are doing. So thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, and it's lovely to have the Prime Minister also really recognize the good work that's being done outside of the forums even here tonight. Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister, for that support. I also wish to extend my heartfelt thanks to the Honourable Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade and other government ministries for their continued collaboration with the ERS in facilitating trade and creating an enabling environment to economic growth. As we commemorate International Customs Day, let us recognize the critical role customs plays beyond revenue collections. Together, with the collective efforts of ERS, the government, and the private sector, we can build a resilient and prosperous Eswatini. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now my honor to invite His Excellency, the Right Honourable Prime Minister, Mr. Russell Miso Dlamini, to deliver the keynote address. Thank you. May God bless you all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Wow. Well, when we came in here, there were very few of us. It's good to see that the auditorium is full now. There World Customs Organization, Secretary General, Mr. Ian Saunders, the Honorable Minister of Finance, Mr. Reichenberg, the Honorable Minister of Industry, of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Mr. Mangoba Khumalo, Honorable Minister of Agriculture, Mr. Mandla Chauka, representative of the European Union delegation to the Kingdom of Eswatini, the representative of the British High Commissioner, maybe it's in absentia, the Eswatini Revenue Service governing chairperson of the board, Commissioner General of the Eswatini Revenue Service, members of the National Trade Facilitation Committee, distinguished guests, representative of the private sector, development partners, and civil society, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Well, it's an honor for me to be here tonight and to address this gathering on this momentous occasion as we gather to commemorate the International Customs Day of 2025 under the theme, Customs Delivering on its Commitment to Efficiency, Security, and Prosperity. This theme is more than a guiding principle. It reflects our collective aspirations as a nation to drive economic growth, secure our trade processes, and ensure the prosperity of all Emaswati. Allow me to begin by acknowledging the pivotal role of the Eswatini Revenue Service, working in collaboration with the National Trade Facilitation Committee, NTFC, in advancing these objectives. Commissioner General, through the modernization of customs operations, the ERS working with the NTFC has become a cornerstone of our national efforts to improve trade facilitation, ensure supply chain security, and contribute to sustainable economic growth. Today, Eswatini joins 186 countries worldwide in commemorating the achievements and aspirations of customs under the World Customs Organization. This global network exemplifies the spirit of collaboration in advancing trade, fostering economic prosperity. This year's theme resonates deeply with our national objectives. This annual commemorative event is a platform which celebrates the pivotal role of customs in simplifying the movement of goods in and out of Eswatini. Customs serves as a critical bridge, enabling local businesses to access regional, continental, and offshore markets, unlocking their full potential and ultimately promoting sustainable economic development. To borrow from the WCO, borders divide, customs connect. I love that cliche. I am happy to see how the theme aligns seamlessly with the government's program of action. The program of action charts an ambitious pathway towards transforming Eswatini into first world status by 2030. At the heart of this vision is the agile economic transformation strategy, which targets a robust 12% economic growth by the end of 5 years. This strategy emphasizes investment in infrastructure, innovation, and industrialization to position Eswatini as an export-driven economy. Our economic transformation agenda prioritizes the growth of small and medium enterprises. These businesses are key drivers of employment and innovation. The government is committed to creating an enabling environment that allows big businesses and SMEs to access regional and international markets. Today, we have already heard how customs processes have been digitized to make it easier for our entrepreneurs to trade beyond our borders. The launch of the African Continental Free Trade Area implementation plan is in March 2024 marked a significant milestone in this journey. The plan offers unparalleled opportunities for Eswatini's traders to tap into a market of over 1.3 billion people. This event highlights the opportunities that AfCFTA presents and highlights Eswatini's readiness to thrive in the broader African market. Active private sector participation is essential for unlocking foreign direct investment. In April 2024, the Business to Government Forum facilitated constructive dialogue between the government and the private sector, emphasizing the importance of producing high-quality export goods that meet international standards to access and compete in the global market. Such collaborations are vital for attracting global investors and fostering economic resilience. In July 2024, I had the privilege of visiting Belarus, a nation similar in size to Eswatini, which has achieved remarkable success in the export market. Belarus' strategic focus on quality, innovation, and efficient logistics serves as an inspiration for our journey. By adopting similar strategies and leveraging our unique strengths, Eswatini can achieve comparable success. The role of simplified border processes in the transformation of our economy cannot be overstated. The implementation of advanced technologies, streamlining border processes, and promoting collaboration of local, regional, and continental partnerships that enhance trade facilitation can also not be overemphasized. The ERS, working with NTFC partners, is a critical enabler of our economic ambitions. The NTFC's initiatives that include the single window system and authorized economic operator program demonstrate the tangible commitment to support the trading community. The recent focus on the single government AEO and the SACCO regional AEO shall see realization of the vision to deliver a virtual border post where trusted traders are able to seamlessly move legitimate goods in and out of the country. Today's event has brought together stakeholders, including small, medium, and large traders, to explore opportunities in regional and intercontinental and continental markets. I trust that the information shared today gives business the confidence that government, through the ERS and NTFC, is committed to support them in growing their business by providing a bridge to international markets. As I conclude, ladies and gentlemen, the Eswatini government's program of action represents a bold and disruptive approach to transforming the Kingdom of Eswatini. It requires the collective efforts of all stakeholders: government, the private sector, and citizens alike. The ERS, in collaboration with the NTFC, will continue to play a pivotal role in this journey, ensuring that our trade processes are robust and that our entrepreneurs are empowered to compete globally. A major target that I would like to assign today to NTFC is, in the current year, shall be operationalizing the single government AEO. In closing, let us reaffirm Thank you for championing that. In closing, let us reaffirm our commitment to this transformative agenda. Together we can build a prosperous, export-driven Eswatini where every citizen has access to economic opportunities. Thank you, and may this International Customs Day inspire us to strive for excellence in all that we do. I thank you, and may God bless us all.
Your Excellency, the Prime Minister, honorable ministers, at this point we would like to give you tokens of appreciation. So may we kindly invite the Prime Minister back on stage, after which we will invite the ministers, the three ministers, including the Minister of Home Affairs, who is not here physically but with us in spirit. So we'll invite the peers to come upstage to take her gift. And then we will have the ambassador come up as well as the panelists. So thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Prime Minister, honorable ministers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this program. So thank you very much. Thank you for the time that you have taken out of your extremely hectic schedules on a Friday, not even Friday afternoon, on a Friday evening. Siyabonga kakhulu, Nkosi. So I will invite my colleague to close with a word of prayer, after which we can then proceed outside for refreshments. May I request that the first two rows, the one that has the PM, be the first row to exit, then row number 2 in that manner. Thank you very much, Siyabonga Nkosi. Prayer, please.
May we close our eyes. Heavenly Father, to you belongs all the honor, the glory and majesty, because heaven and earth belongs to you, Lord. Thank you for your presence throughout the celebration, and thank you for the success of this day. We give you all the honor. We ask for more strength, wisdom, and counsel to implement all the initiatives that have been discussed here. You have given us this big responsibility, Lord, to do this work. Therefore, we ask that you give us the strength that we need and strengthen our hands. As we go to our various destinations, Heavenly Father, we ask that you send your angels to encompass us until we reach our destiny in safety. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with each one of us in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.